What's up, everybody? Welcome to this video. So I'm going to be talking about what the AI service model is. Now, we're going to call this AI operating, just to give it a name, but it's literally an AI agency. It's an AI service business. It's AI growth partner. I don't care what you call it, okay? This is essentially selling AI and using AI to do 90% of the work that businesses need that solve massive problems for them. Now, just for context before we get into this, so you know that I know what I'm talking about. Last year, I did a launch for a client, and I made $180,000 in 1 week. Okay, that's a wire that was sent to me for that 1 week of work. Overall, we ended up doing about $300,000 from this client in the non-launch months. And we hired and managed 60 plus sales reps. We managed all the sales process, the assets, everything. We did the sales during the launch, sat on Zoom with 60 plus people from around the globe, as well as an in-person team in Miami. Now, this was awesome. However, I was a big dummy. I didn't use AI to do all this work because we really didn't know what we know now about AI. So what I want to show you guys is how to do this and do 90% of the work with AI, okay? So let's get into this. Guys, all that you're doing is you're the bridge between businesses and the ideal outcomes and the ROI that they are looking for. This is very common sense. It's very simple. More sales, more efficiency, easier to run my business, better systems, more calls, better marketing, okay? Now, in the age of AI, during the AI revolution, you can do most of this work with AI. Now, you're probably wondering, why don't these businesses do this themselves? Lack of knowledge. It's the same reason that businesses still pay other people to do things now that the internet exists and all these other tools, right? Why would I pay somebody else? Because I don't have the time. That's why businesses go buy other businesses for millions of dollars instead of building it themselves. It is a time-saving thing. So this is how I want you guys to think about the AI revolution in the sense of there's really two targets that you can help. You have online businesses. Now, this falls into info products, coaches, agencies, even e-com businesses in certain cases. Like, for example, I talked to $1 billion e-com brand last night that wants to use my startup Kendo AI. Shout out Kendo, to do a bunch of stuff for their company. Now, it's not traditional, but it works. And software companies, for sure. Then you have like your boomer enterprise corporate businesses. Service companies like HVAC, plumbing, and roofing. These are blue collar guys. They're way behind the curve on even the internet, let alone AI, and it can completely transform their businesses. Legal, real estate, accounting, medical practices, insurance, call centers. All of these businesses need help. They massively need help. And they know these following things. They know that they rely heavily on manual labor and repetitive tasks, okay? They know that they have very high ROI potential, especially you have high ROI potential when using AI, especially in like an online business or something. They're very bloated. They have big head counts. They're very slow. They don't move as fast as they would like to. They have very poor tech adoption, but very high profit margins. And they're not AI native, but they feel the pressure because it's the biggest thing in the world right now to keep up and to do what everyone else is doing and getting in with AI. Now, a couple do's and don'ts that I'm seeing very commonly on the internet right now. What you should do is sell, hey, we're going to close more leads without hiring more people or increasing your cost. We're going to cut 40 hours of admin week or hours a week for you. We're going to turn phone calls into instant reports. We're going to actually automate repetitive parts of your business in order to increase production and save hours per day. It's very valuable. We're going to generate more appointments. We're going to close more deals, etc. Right? It's outcome and ROI based, not focused around AI, okay? What you don't want to do is sell anything that says AI. Like, you can tell people, yeah, we do a bunch of cool AI stuff when it helps you, but you don't want to sell AI chatbots. You don't want to sell AI receptionists and AI phone answering people and AI automation and replace all your workers with AI unless it's a role that can actually be replaced. Okay, this is the wrong way to do this. And you don't want to build your business around this AI garbage. You should still focus on selling outcomes and ROI, and you do the work with AI internally because it saves you time. It gives you more profit margin, and you can deliver better results. Okay, that's the right way and the wrong way to do this. Now, let's give you a real example. An industry that I know like the back of my hand. I actually did a P&L last night. I'm selling one of my companies. I did not realize this, I've done since 2021 about $7 million in info product sales across a few different offers for myself, not including clients or students. So we know what we're talking about. Your average online info product business has a few main departments. They have a sales team, they have content, they have paid ads, reporting and data, and then obviously delivery to customers. This is where I'm going to blow your mind. This is how you need to think about things, okay? These are the problems in these departments that cost businesses money, and we're going to go through this. So sales teams, no call reviews, no end-of-day reports, bad data tracking. It's really hard to hire and manage reps right now, right? Sales assets are not good or don't exist. Sales assets meaning like pre-call stuff, post-call stuff, emails, like what are customers receiving when they book a call to help show rate, things like that. And the sales manager has no clue what's going on in any of the above, usually, okay? Content, ideation is hard. You have to manually think and be creative. Oh, what should I make content on? That should not be done that way, right? Editing and production, short form, distribution, posting content, being consistent on organic because all the above is very difficult, which causes a lot of problems in itself. Then you have paid ads if that company runs paid. You have creative production. If you're running paid at scale, you got to have new creatives like every couple of weeks, okay? And that becomes very costly and time intensive. Video sales letters, VSLs are not easy to make if you don't know how to make them. And it's hard to spit them out in the production level that you should be, right? Funnels, sales assets. And because sales is not dialed and there is no data and ad spend is not correct and it's being spent on the wrong things, the team doesn't get calls, the team leaves, revenue goes down, and you die, okay? Everything is kind of interconnected. Like paid ads and content are connected, sales and marketing is connected. But all these problems lead to other problems. Reporting and data. No data tracking at all most of the time, to be honest. The sales data is unorganized. The reps don't do end-of-day reports, so you have no visibility into the business. You have no idea what your customer acquisition cost is. You don't know what your LTV is. You can't scale. And the CEO or the founder has no eyes on what's happening. Therefore, he can't make good decisions, right? And delivery to customers. The course or coaching, actual delivery is too manual. Like you can't really scale it as you get more customers. The students don't get enough help, so they churn. They get bad rumors in the public about your product. Sales fall, and you die. Okay? Now, let's look at these things that are high ROI problems that can be solved with AI. And more specifically, these ones with arrows, the ones in just green can be solved with AI, but they're a little bit harder. So call reviews, solved with AI. No end-of-day reports, solved with AI. Bad data tracking, solved. It's still hard to hire reps. That's a manual thing. Sales assets, you can do it with AI. The sales manager will have an idea of what's going on once you fix all these things with AI. So that's done. That's easy. As far as content, I'm already doing this. Ideation is all done via AI. Editing and production, a lot of it is done via AI. Short form, you still got to sit down and film. Soon you'll be able to use an AI avatar, but it's not as good yet. Distribution can be, if you consider posting content distribution, then sure, you can do it with AI. And then again, being consistent is a lot easier once you solve these things with AI. Paid ads, for example, creative production, easy, AI. VSLs, definitely can be done with AI. I've been doing this for about a year plus now. Funnels, AI. Sales assets, AI. All of these things can be done with AI. And all of these problems will then turn green and not be a problem anymore once you solve them. Now, what's the point of this? Is it to solve it with AI just because it's AI? No. The point is it saves you time. Like you're building a business to solve these problems. And if you can do this work in half the time or 70% of the time that it usually would take, that means you can do more work, more clients, more profit, and you can scale with less time. Okay, more money for you. So all of these things can and should be, in the age of AI, taken care of with those tools that exist. Okay, Claude, N8N, ChatGPT, Poppy, all these really cool tools can solve all these problems. Now, I want to give you guys some hardcore examples. Everything in green can easily be done or replaced with AI. Even things not done with AI can be done as a service still, since you're doing the rest of the work that is automated. So, for example, hiring human sales reps, you can't really do AI sales reps yet. That has to be pretty manual. Like managing a sales team in the mental sense or the coaching sense, it's pretty manual. A lot of that work can be done with my company, actually. That's why we built Kendo, but it still needs to be done by you. Now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It means you can do it now with less time because you can do the rest with AI. That's how I want you guys to kind of think about this. But content, systems, data, sales assets, copywriting, all of this can be done 10 times better than it used to be with AI. Now, let's do some math, and I'm talking conservative math. If you have a company that does $100K a month, which is pretty standard for info, that's kind of the bottom tier. They probably have bad data tracking. They probably don't have systems. Their content is probably slow and it's all done manually, so it's not predictable, it's not consistent. Their ads and marketing don't have clean data from sales, so they can't scale. You have low show rates because you have bad systems and you have bad marketing assets. You have low close rate because all of those things, and prospects aren't sold properly, and they don't go through the correct funnel, and they don't have enough touch points, and reps aren't trained consistently because the manager is spending time on all of this nonsense. And you can realistically take a company, and I'm saying this based on data, not hypothetical, like we've done this, our students have done this, I've seen it a million times. You can take a company from 100K a month to 150 to 300 just by fixing these things, really without doing anything else, okay? Now, how do you make money from this? Here's a real, extremely conservative example, okay? I actually took this directly from a student in our program that has done this. So let's say you close an info company on a normal deal of a 5K setup fee and 20% rev share of growth, meaning if they do 100K now and they get to 150K, that's 50K of growth that you created. You take a percent of that growth, not what they already have existing. You can still take existing. I'm just giving you like an easy deal. So if you take them from 100 to 150 in 60 days with better systems, better tracking, better sales assets, you would make $15,000 profit. That's real math. You can pull out a calculator right now. Realistically, doing all of this work with AI will take you a few hours a week max to fulfill. Meaning since AI does most of the work, you can do that work with a couple clients at a time and work reasonable hours. And you're able to do 2, 3, 4, 5 clients. Multiply 15K by 3, multiply it by 4, multiply it by 5. That's the income potential of this business model. And I'm not saying this off of like hypothetical or like, oh, this ideal situation. These are the real numbers that we've done, that our clients have done, that our students have done, and real examples. And that's how easy it is. Obviously, you got to be good at this, and you got to learn, and you got to have the expertise. But that's how simple the math is to make $30,000 to $50,000 a month from this business model. It's not that hard. And I really want to use this as an example, guys. Like we did the hard work doing this all manual. We didn't do any AI to do this because we just didn't have the knowledge at the time. This was in November 2024. We really, really found out about AI in like late December during Christmas when I had time to just kind of chill. And if we would have done this with AI, I would have literally had probably, 20% of the work that we ended up having to do. And I still would have made this much, if not more, because it would have been better. AI does a better product most of the time than you do manually. So if you guys are looking at like using AI to make money, please don't think about building a software. Don't think about building an LLM. Don't think about building these complex, costly tools. I'm in that game right now. It's difficult. Think about you having the knowledge that these other businesses don't have. They have problems that they need solved. You are the bridge that solves those problems because you have the AI knowledge. Meaning you can solve the problem and do the work with a robot so that you don't have to actually do the work. For example, you want to go write a VSL for a client, you can charge 20 grand for VSLs. Like I've seen $1 million for VSLs, but you got to have a big track record. You can write a VSL in about an hour with Claude if you have the right prompts, you have the right context profiles, you do it the right way, you have to have the knowledge, but you can knock that out in an hour, okay? Imagine you do 5 VSLs a week for even 5 or 10K. Congrats, you're making 50K a month, okay? That's what I want you guys to think about. So short and sweet, this is how simple it is. This is the business model, and this is what you should be thinking about. Think of you're the bridge that's solving problems for these kinds of businesses. I wouldn't really do any other businesses. I wouldn't do any other services. You want to make sure that your service is high ROI. You can definitely deliver most of it with AI. It's pretty cake, okay? So I hope that makes sense. And man, what a crazy time we live in that you can do all this work with AI. I hope this really, really hits home for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.